All right, so we'll start section 8.4, dealing with equations in the Cartesian coordinate system. And in this section, we're just going to be recognizing and graphing equations of lines. And then we'll look at how to use the slope formula to calculate the slope of any line. And then we're going to be solving systems of equations by using three different methods. One of them is by graphing, the other one is by substitution, and the other one is by elimination. And then determine if a system of linear equations has a unique solution, or infinitely many solutions, or no solutions. Okay, so that's 8.4, and also that will pretty much wrap up chapter 8. Let's begin with the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay. Now, the Cartesian coordinate system enables us to study both geometry and algebra simultaneously. Okay. Because in the coordinate system, there is geometry and there's also algebra in this as well. Now, what is the Cartesian coordinate system? It's pretty much constructed by placing two number lines that are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so here's an illustration of what the Cartesian coordinate system looks like. You have two lines, one going horizontally and one going vertically. They're perpendicular to each other, meaning that they form a 90-degree angle. Okay, now, those two lines are called axes. The one that goes straight across from left to right is the x-axis. The y-axis is the vertical axis going straight up and down. And they both intersect at a point, which is called the origin. And that origin has the ordered pair 0, 0. And also, the coordinate plane is separated into what they call quadrants. So here there are 4 quadrants. The first one in the upper right is quadrant 1, where both the x and the y coordinates are positive. The one in the upper left is quadrant number 2. That's where your x coordinate is negative, as you can see, and the y coordinate is positive. Quadrant 3 is in the lower left-hand corner. Both the x and the y coordinates are negative. And finally, quadrant 4 in the lower right-hand corner, only the x coordinate is positive and the y coordinate is negative. Okay. And also there are points, sometimes you may have a point where it could be either on the x-axis, and if it's on the x-axis, that means that your y coordinate is going to be 0, or it could be on the y-axis. And if it's on the y-axis, that means your x coordinate is 0. So now the location of any point can be described by an ordered pair, and they use a comma b. We can also use x comma y for ordered pairs, where a perpendicular from P to the x-axis intersects at a point with the coordinate A, and perpendicular from P to the y-axis intersects at a point where the coordinate B, with coordinate B, and that point would be identified as this, P with the coordinates A comma B. So if I want to plot, let's say 3, 4, I start from the origin. The x coordinate is 3, so that means I move to the right 3 places, and then the y coordinate is 4, I go up 4 and draw the point. Or for 3, negative 4, I can go to the right 3 and go down 4 and draw that point. That will be ordered pair 3, negative 4. Okay. Questions about the coordinate plane? Okay. All right, take a look. Well, let's look at equations of vertical and horizontal lines. And it says here, every point on the x-axis has a y-coordinate of 0. So here, this is my x-axis here. So if I have points on the x-axis, that means that the y-coordinate is automatically going to be 0. That means the x-axis can be described as a set of all points x comma y, where y is equal to 0. And here the x-axis has the equation y is equal to 0. Okay. So if I'm on the x-axis here, that means y is equal to 0 is the equation of the x-axis. Now for the y-axis, go straight up and down like this. Every point on that y-axis will have an x-coordinate of 0. So that means that the y-axis can be described as a set of all points x comma y, where x is equal to 0. And y could be any arbitrary real number. So that means that the y-axis has the equation x is equal to 0. So in short, a vertical line going straight up and down would be x is equal to some constant. A horizontal line would be y is equal to some constant, like in these two examples here that I have here, like x is equal to 2. Here's just a vertical line going through the x-axis at 2. Whereas for y is equal to 3, it's just a horizontal line going through the y-axis at 3. Okay. So in general, the graph of the equation x is equal to a, where a is some real number, is going to be the line perpendicular to the x-axis. So it's going to be this here. Whereas the graph of y is equal to b will be a line perpendicular to the y-axis through the point with coordinate 0, b. Okay, so let's look at these two examples here, A and B of example 1. Let's say I wanted to find the equation for each of the following lines. Let's say the line contains the point with the ordered pair 4, 1, and it's going to be perpendicular to the x-axis. So what I'm doing here on the board is drawing the coordinate plane. Well, the point P is going to be 4, 1. So that means I go to the right 4 and up 1. That's the point. And we're told that it's perpendicular to the x-axis. So if this is the x-axis, anything perpendicular will have to be going like this. Has to be like this. And we want to find out what that equation of the line is going to be. Well, it's a vertical line, so it has to be, in this case, x is equal to what? 4. Yeah. The x coordinate is 4. So it has to be x is equal to 4 because every point on this vertical line has the x coordinate of 4. So obviously it's going to be x is equal to 4. Okay, questions on that? Okay, so this is part A. Now part B, we're told we want to find the line containing the point P, which has the ordered pairs -5 to 5. And this time, we're told that is parallel to the x-axis. Okay. So from -5 to 5, -5, we go to the left 5 and down 5. So that point would be right here. -5, -5. And if it's parallel to the x-axis, here's the x-axis right here. That means that this line will have to be, obviously, I do not know how to plot points. Let's see, -5 will have to be down here, so a little bit further. So that line would be going in this direction. So what would you think the equation for that would be? Well, notice it's a horizontal line. Y equal -5. Okay, because every point on that line has the y coordinate of -5. So it must be y equal -5. Okay. Any questions on this, just that? Okay. And I'll tell you what, we'll stop right here. Finish the rest of this on Monday.